Here I am under my 95 Honda Civic with a B20 swap in it and GSR transmission. I've been having a lot of oil leaks coming from this area, and I found out it's from the little shifter shaft seal. I looked everywhere online, see how to swap them out and everything, and I didn't find anything. I just found pictures and stuff like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and make a quick video of how to do this seal. Hopefully it comes out good. This is my first time ever doing this. I didn't know there was a seal. For some reason I thought that the seal went from the inside of the tranny out, so I thought you had to remove the tranny. But I finally, had some time and started researching, and apparently the seal it goes from the outside in, so you can actually do it from the outside of the car. There's a couple things you have to do. We have to go ahead and drain the tranny first, because if we do that, the whole tranny fluid will just pour out of this little seal. So I'm gonna go ahead and take out what we call the bitch pin. Let me see if I can see it. Oh fuck! See, it's like there's dripping oil right now. So the bitch pin is in here. So I managed to take off the little cover, and there's a pin right there. So what I'm gonna do is gonna get like I had a little socket that will work perfect for this, but I got a 10mm bolt that fits perfectly in there. So I'm gonna hit it, whack it with a hammer on this side, and hopefully the pin goes all the way through and comes out. So I'm gonna go ahead and take that off first, and then drain the tranny. That was actually a lot easier than I thought. The pin came out pretty easy. Like I said, I was hitting it with my 10mm bolt. I just whacked it until it went pop, pop, and it went straight through. So once you got that off, you kind of just pull you push the shifter in and then out, and it just slides right out. You can just set that to the side. And let's see. And go ahead and pull this little cover off. Just be careful you don't tear it. So here's a better look at the shifter seal. There you go. This is it right here. As you can see, like a bunch of oil was leaking through here, and it will build up on my little boot, and then it will start spilling out from the little hole. Let's see, it will spill out from there. So that's the look of it. We're gonna pull this out and just slap the other one in. It looks like we can use a 60mm deep socket to seat it back in there. I don't know if that's how far it's supposed to go, or it's supposed to go in more, but we're gonna go ahead and drain the tranny out now. So this is how you drain the tranny out on a B-Series transmission. You could either use a wrench, just pop it in there. This is the bolt right here. This is a drain bolt. Pop it in there and just pull on it. It's kind of hard for me. I actually hurt my back not that long ago, so I have to be careful. I'm gonna go ahead and use my little impact gun and just break it loose, nice and slow. Once you broke it loose, you want to go ahead and get your oil pan ready, and then just take it off slowly. Take the screw off slow, that way you don't make a mess. I always like to work as clean as I can, because at the end of the project, the last thing you want to do is be cleaning your mess up. So I like to lay down some tarp, put like an oil pan on the bottom or something, to prevent like any oil spills or coolant spills on the concrete, because that's kind of a pain in the ass to take out. So I'm gonna go ahead and let this drain out completely, and then I'm gonna go ahead and pop the seal out and then pop the new one in. So this is the seal for the GSR tranny, and I also know that this is the same thing for the B16. I'm pretty sure they're the same for all B-Series, but just double check when you do get it. It was just 10 bucks. I just wish I would have known how easy it is to swap this out. So hopefully this goes smooth. So we're gonna let that drain out, pop the old seal out, and pop the new one in. So here's a better look of what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna actually use my 17mm deep socket to press the seal in. So you can see it's almost a perfect fit. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this on there, give it a couple taps to slide all the way in, and hopefully this works. People usually use a 60mm, but I think this is gonna be just fine. Looks like it fits good around the seal. Looks like the tranny's pretty much drained. It has a little drippage here and there, but I don't think it's going to matter much. So make sure every time you take a bolt on and off, always clean out the threads. Make sure there's no rocks or debris in there, so it could go nice and smooth. So I'm going to go ahead and put it back in and just tighten it, and then get back to the seal and try to take it off with my flathead screwdriver. So I'm going to try to go ahead and take the seal off. Hopefully it doesn't spill a lot of oil. Damn. I just wedged the screwdriver and just turned like this slowly, and it's just started sliding out. It's starting to slide out nice and slow. There it goes. So there it goes, it's popped out. So I'm gonna go ahead and just put a little bit of oil around it, so that way it can slide in with like low friction. Just pop it back in there. It's in there. I'm gonna use my socket to tap it in. Here's a better look at the shift shaft seal I'll put in. After you put it in, you want to make sure that everything's clean, so that way if you do continue to have a leak, you can kind of tell the difference. So I went ahead and brake cleaned it nice and clean. Hopefully it's sat right. It's my first time doing the seal like this. So what I did, I slid it around there, just tapped this until it couldn't go any further. It looks like there's a good 1/4 inch that it stays out. I don't want to hit it too hard because then I can rip the seal. So I'm going to go ahead and put the cover back on and go ahead and put the shift linkage back in, hit the bitch pin through it, put the clip back on, and then fill up the tranny again with some fresh oil. The seal's in, everything's cleaned up, the bitch pin is in, the C-clip is on. So slid it back on, everything's clean. So now it's time to fill up the tranny, and the way we do that is we take off the speed sensor, and then we just get a long funnel and just fill it up with the whatever amount of tranny fluid you use on your B-Series. So here's a better look of my speed sensor. I'm going to go ahead and take off one of the 10mm bolts and slide the speed sensor out. So there's the speed sensor removed. I'm going to go ahead and burn the funnel and fill it up with oil now. So the transmission is filled up, everything's buttoned up, no oil leaks. So that was pretty straightforward. Probably took me like 45 minutes, and that's with recording, so it should be pretty fast. So it should be a pretty fast little fix.